Disclaimer: this is only our opinion, not professional advice, and we cannot be held responsible for any damage or bodily harm. Please do your own research and be very careful when handling gas. You've probably heard this warning before. Don't overfill your gas tank or you'll ruin your engine. But what actually happens if you do? Is it as bad as they say? In this video, we will answer all of those questions and more. If your gas tank is overfilled, it can cause two problems. First, the extra fuel will flood the engine and coat the cylinders with gasoline. This can cause a number of problems, including corrosion of the spark plugs, which can lead to misfiring and engine damage, clogging of the air filter, which can reduce airflow and increase emissions, formation of a gas film on the windshield, which can reduce visibility. Second, overfilling a gas tank will cause the fuel to expand. When the fuel expands, it exerts pressure on the tank walls. This pressure can eventually cause the tank to rupture, resulting in a dangerous fuel leak. So is it really that bad to overfill your gas tank? The answer is yes, it can be. An overfilled gas tank can cause all sorts of problems, from engine damage to a dangerous fuel leak. It's important to be aware of the risks and take steps to avoid them. So next time you're filling up your car, make sure to stop when the nozzle shuts off automatically. What to do if you overfill your gas tank? If you do overfill your gas tank, there are a few things you can do to minimize the damage. First, turn off the engine and let the car sit for a few minutes. This will allow any excess fuel to drain back down into the tank. Second, remove the spark plugs and clean them off with a wire brush. This will help to remove any gasoline that may have spread to the plugs. Finally, take the car to a mechanic and have them check it out. They can assess the damage and suggest any necessary repairs. Can a car explode from too much gas? It's important to note that a car cannot explode from too much gas. The tanks on cars are not designed to hold enough fuel to create an explosive atmosphere. However, if the tank ruptures, it could release a large amount of fuel, which could ignite and cause a fire. It only takes a tiny spark to ignite the fuel, so it's important to take precautions when refueling your car. Make sure the area is well ventilated, and never smoke or use a cell phone while refueling. If you do happen to spill gasoline, be sure to clean it up immediately. So if you're careful not to overfill your gas tank, you can avoid these dangerous consequences. Be sure to check your owner's manual for the correct fuel level specifications for your vehicle. And remember, if you do happen to overfill your tank, don't start the engine. How do you know that your gas tank has been overfilled? There are a few ways to tell if your gas tank has been overfilled. One way is to look at the fuel gauge. If the needle is pointing beyond the F or E for full, then you know that you have gone over the recommended level. Another way to tell is by checking the filler neck. If it's bulging or the cap is difficult to remove, that could be a sign that the tank is overfull. Finally, there are often warning stickers on the gas cap or dashboard telling you not to overfill the tank. When you're not sure whether your tank has been overfilled, it's best to err on the side of caution and not start the engine. It's better to be safe than sorry. Can overfilling the gas tank cause the check engine light to turn on? It's possible for the check engine light to turn on if you overfill your gas tank. This is because the extra fuel can cause the engine to run rich, which will trigger the check engine light. When the check engine light comes on, it's a good idea to take your car to a mechanic and have it checked out. However, in this case, it's most likely that the light is being triggered by the overfilled tank and not by some more serious problem with the engine. Can I start the car when the gas tank overflows? It is never advisable to start the engine when the gas tank is overfilled. The extra fuel can cause problems with the engine and may even lead to a fire. If you do happen to overfill your gas tank, be sure to turn off the engine and let it sit for a few minutes. This will allow any excess fuel to drain back down into the tank. However, gasoline usually evaporates very fast. As such, in just a few minutes, the majority of the fuel will have drained back down into the tank. At that point, you should be able to start the engine without any problems. Do's and don'ts. During refueling, do not smoke or use a cell phone while refueling. Do not overfill the tank. Check your owner's manual for the correct fuel level specifications. If you do happen to overfill the tank, don't start the engine. Be sure to check the filler neck for bulging or difficulty in removing the cap. If you're not sure whether your tank has been overfilled, err on the side of caution and don't start the engine. Add fuel stabilizer to the tank if you think it may be overfull. Clean out the air filter if it's clogged. In conclusion, what happens when you overfill your gas tank accidentally is that the engine will run rich and the check engine light might turn on. You should take your car to a mechanic if this happens. Aside from that, overfilling can also lead to other problems such as damage to the emissions control system and premature wear of the fuel pump. To avoid these dangers, simply follow the simple tips we discussed when refueling. I hope this video helped. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow so you don't miss any of my videos.